What's more, Guizhou was strong, to the point that even Niguang was wary of him, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to establish a good relationship with him. Perhaps there would come a time when Yang Kai would need help from Guizhou in the future. There is a place in here that I will need to borrow your powers to explore. Guizhou pondered for a moment. This old master doesn't dare to enter that place on his own, but it will be fine if you are there. Guizhou was a decisive character, so after reaching an agreement, he immediately led the way forward. Yang Kai adjusted Zhu Yue on his back, allowing her to lean on him more comfortably as he hurriedly kept up. Along the way, through some idle chatter, Yang Kai learned that since Guizhou saw him before entering the Severed World, he had been searching for him. After all, there were many void cracks in this Severed World, and only someone proficient in the Tao of Space could travel through here safely. And Guizhou happened to know that Yang Kai was quite accomplished in the Tao of Space. Guizhou originally intended to find a chance to snatch Yang Kai from under Niguang and Luo Lan's noses and then take him to explore the Severed World, but after entering this place, he had been unable to track Yang Kai down and was only able to use some clues to chase after him. But suddenly, an accident occurred, and he completely lost track of Yang Kai. It was not until just now, when Yang Kai suddenly rushed out of the void and appeared in front of Guizhou, that the latter picked up the former's trail. It seems that Senior and I do indeed share some fate, Yang Kai laughed after hearing his explanation. The void was connected to almost everywhere in the Severed World, yet the injured shocking void beast had appeared right in front of Guizhou with Yang Kai following close behind. It was a coincidence within a coincidence. This old master was also quite surprised. I was beginning to believe I'd lost my chance to meet up with you. Guizhou wrapped himself in his black chi again, making it impossible for others to see his face, but from his tone, it was still obvious he felt quite pleasantly surprised. By the way, where are you taking me, Senior? A Medicine Valley. Guizhou flew ahead and replied without looking back. When this old master passed by there before, he spotted many rare spirit medicines. Unfortunately, that damned place was filled with void cracks, so this old master didn't dare enter too deep and only collected a few enlightenment flowers which had bloomed around the periphery before having to withdraw. Enlightenment flowers. Yang Kai's eyes lit up. Enlightenment flowers were origin-grade mid-rank spirit flowers. They were extraordinarily rare in the starfield because the current world principles did not seem suitable to their growth. Only in places where an ancient environment persisted could enlightenment flowers survive. Fortunately, the Severed World was just such an environment, so it wasn't surprising that there were enlightenment flowers here. This type of ancient spirit flower, whether it was used to refine the enlightenment pill or directly consumed, was of great help to Origin King Realm cultivators in improving their strength and state of mind. It was no wonder even Guizhou, with his profound cultivation, was so interested in that Medicine Valley. It turned out that he obtained a few enlightenment flowers there. Yeah, in addition to enlightenment flowers, there are many treasures there. Some of those herbs even I, an old master, can't recognize, but I am certain it is a paradise for Origin Kings. If I can obtain enough benefits from there, this old master is confident he will be able to break through to the Third Order Origin King realm in this lifetime. There was a hint of fanaticism in Guizhou's voice. Hearing what he said, Yang Kai's brow rose slightly as he was able to speculate that Guizhou was already a Second Order Origin King realm master. Otherwise, he would not be speaking so confidently about the Third Order. It seemed like it was not unreasonable for Niguang to fear him. After this old master left that place, he was even more determined to search for you. If anyone here can safely enter that Medicine Valley, it would definitely be you. This old master didn't hold out much hope, but, it seems this old master's luck has not run out. Guizhou said. That should be the Medicine Valley that Uncle Ni spoke of. As soon as Guizhou finished speaking, Zhu Yue's voice came from behind Yang Kai. The voice was still weak, but it did not sound haggard or distressed like before. You woke up? Yang Kai turned his head and glanced at her, quickly discovering that Zhu Yue's face had become quite ruddy. It seemed that her healing technique was quite extraordinary, allowing her to rapidly stabilize her injuries. Things were blurry just now, but it seems I'm all right. Zhu Yue nodded, not showing any intention to get off Yang Kai's back. Instead, she hugged him tighter, enjoying the warmth and care Yang Kai showed her with peace of mind. Glancing over at Guizhou suspiciously though, she asked into Yang Kai's ear warily, this Senior is? This is Senior Guizhou, Yang Kai chuckled. Don't worry, Senior and I are old acquaintances. GG, Guizhou gave a weird laugh, little girl, your thoughts are quite scattered. If this old master really wanted to attack you, do you think you would still be alive? Rest assured, since your boyfriend is this old master's acquaintance, you can be regarded as this old master's acquaintance as well. This old master has no ill will towards you. Hearing the word boyfriend, Zhu Yue could not help blushing a hint of pink, but a smile soon formed on her lips as she replied softly, "Senior is too kind. Unfortunately, this junior is wounded and cannot offer a proper greeting. Please forgive me." "It's fine." Gui Zhu didn't care, giving Zhu Yue a thoughtful look before asking, "Little girl, you're Zhu Yue of Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce, right?" Zhu Yue's expression cramped, but she quickly recovered and nodded. How did Senior figure that out? She used an artifact to change her appearance and figure, making her normal look completely different from her natural one. Moreover, that artifact was refined by an artifact refining Grandmaster of Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce, so unless it was a peak third-order origin king, no one should have been able to notice any flaws. Zhu Yue didn't know why Gui Zhu had uncovered her identity at a glance. "This old master is not a fool," Gui Zhu chuckled. "Only a few people entered the severed world, and you're wearing the same clothes as Zhu Yue, and you just spoke about your Uncle Ni. If this old master is still unable to figure out who you were, he would have lived all these years in vain." As Gui Zhu spoke, he felt relaxed. He had been curious about the origins of the woman Yang Kai was carrying, as he had not noticed such a woman upon entering the severed world. Later, he had managed to figure it out through various clues, and now he had confirmation. "So that's how it is." Zhu Yue nodded, realizing that Gui Zhu recognizing her was not because of his strength but because she had shown too many flaws. The famous Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce's third young master is actually a woman. Simply astonishing, Gui Zhu expressed true surprise. "Senior, Zhu Yue has her secrets, so she doesn't want others to know about her true identity as a woman. I hope Senior can keep it a secret," Yang Kai asked. "You know, Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce is a superforce, so if this matter were to spread out." "This old master isn't loose-lipped," Gui Zhu snickered. "Whether she's male or female has nothing to do with this old master." "Many thanks, Senior." Zhu Yue bit her red lips lightly and offered her thanks. After thinking about it for a moment, she leaned over and whispered into Yang Kai's ear, "I'd best change my appearance back, otherwise, if I meet someone again, they may also see through my identity." "If that's what you think is best." Yang Kai nodded. Zhu Yue tapped something on her chest and pushed her Saint Chi, activating the artifact which concealed her appearance and figure, quickly returning to her male image. "Little girl, what did you mean just now? Does your Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce also know the location of that medicine valley?" Gui Zhu asked. Zhu Yue gently nodded. "My Heng Luo Chamber of Commerce has long known about the existence of that medicine valley. Every time the severed world opens, someone will come over and we will have some gains occasionally, but because that place is filled with so many void cracks, no one dares enter too deeply. Our previous goal was also that medicine valley, but after encountering that swarm of illusionary void butterflies, we became separated from Uncle Ni." "It turns out that it's not a secret," Gui Zhu expressed his disappointment. "Yang boy, it looks like we need to speed up a bit. If others get there first, we may not even have soup to drink. Let this old master carry you for now." Saying so, Gui Zhu formed a series of seals with his hands and summoned his 10,000 soul banner. The next moment, the 10,000 soul banner wrapped around the trio and transformed into a streak of black light that flashed across the sky, more than doubling their previous traveling speed. It was only a coincidence that Gui Zhu was able to discover the medicine valley. He did not have any special purpose in entering the severed world. He had only heard that there were many good things inside that could help Origin Kings enhance their strength, so he decided to come and explore. Then, while tracking Yang Kai, he happened to pass not far from the medicine valley and found a few enlightenment flowers. Unfortunately, even with his great strength, he did not dare to explore too deeply and could only reluctantly retreat. Now that he was bringing Yang Kai with him, he could not wait to dive in and begin reaping as many rewards as possible. The medicine valley was not too far away from the place where he and Yang Kai met, but it also was not close. It took a full day for the trio to reach their destination. The 10,000 soul banner was withdrawn, and 3 figures appeared. However, after Gui Zhu released his divine sense to investigate the surroundings, his expression sank and he coldly muttered, "As I thought, many people came." Within a 100-kilometer radius, Gui Zhu sensed a number of Origin Kings. The only question was whether these people knew about this place beforehand or had discovered it by accident like he had. Yang Kai swept his eyes around at random and saw the figures of Purple Star's Sect Master Zi Long and Young Master Zi Dong, both of them sporting the same long, purple hair, making them stand out against the barren hillside they stood upon. In addition to them, Zhu Wei, who had previously plotted against Yang Kai, was also here. Even Kong Fa had come. These two were quite disheveled, with Kong Fa obviously injured and pale-faced. It seemed he had suffered greatly under the siege of the illusionary void butterflies and had only barely made it out alive. Zhu Yue. Not far to the right, a nervous and delighted voice rang out. Yang Kai turned his head and found that Ni Guang was rushing towards their side hurriedly while watching Guizhou vigilantly. Behind him, Luo Lan followed closely.